You see, they were afraid because they feared the people, because he had lots of followers. There was something different about this guy. He was getting a lot of followers, and they were really worried about that.
It was kind of like what he did with the woman that they brought to him.
Yeah.
They said, one teacher, she's committed sin,
Yeah.
we caught her in adultery, or whatever. And he said, well, okay. You who was without sin picked up the stone and threw it at her.
Now, what's so cool about that is there's a hidden injustice in there. Because that isn't what the Old Testament law says. Where was the man who was committing adultery?
Right.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. So they already had this. And how did you catch her? So Jesus knew a lot of what was going on there. And he called them out. Now, if you want a cool little reading, I have on the One Year Bible site, .wordpress.com, it's 4th from Leviticus, it's called. So I think you'd enjoy that to see how the Old Testament and New Testament blend together. I think you guys would find it interesting. That the moral law carries over, what doesn't, and why. I think you'd find it kind of cool. Very good. How about miracles? Any miracles you all familiar with that you kind of remember? Water and wine? Yeah, you know that Jesus blend was good.
Walk on water.
I would love me a bottle of that Jesus blend wine. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm like, honey, we got tonight? Trump blend? I got the Jesus blend. This is classic. So, aged in a barrel that carpenter made himself. So, what else? Walk on water. What else they do? What's that?
Heal the epileptic.
Yep, heal the epileptic. Next.
Cured the blind man by putting mud on his eyes that he made with his saliva.
Yeah.
I never understood why did he have to do that.
Yeah, and that's a great question. You guys hear a question? So why didn't he just heal him? Because he healed a blind man before without touching him. So why this time? Because he was in a temple area. He wanted him to go to the pool of Siloam, which is, that's how you say it. I think it other languages, so y'all no ripping on me. So, and he went and washed himself because that was the healing pool, and then said, hey, go talk to the priest. How many people do you think were healed in that pool? Not many. Probably none. And that guy, they knew he was there. He went in the pool and he's like, what? So you go tell the priest. He can't even think of who to thank him. There's hidden little evidences in the Bible. He's like, well, where's the guy who healed you? I don't know. Because he was blind and he healed him. He's like, I don't know. I didn't hear his voice, Pretty cool. So he went, it was all demonstrated. He was giving those leaders every opportunity to recognize the Messiah. Everything he did, there's hidden things in there that are so clever. Jesus was incredibly, properly shrewd. Very good. Next, that's awesome. Next one?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, it's not my question. I read this in a post. And they were saying that if Jesus did all these miracles, then why couldn't he stop the males from going into the
Because he didn't want to. Because he was fulfilling prophecy. His whole purpose was to die. The Jews were the means to do it. Christ took his own. It was almost deicide. He died willingly. They just represent all of us.
Remember he says in the woods, my body is weak, my soul.
Yeah.
So
He felt the stress of it all. His capillaries popped. He felt the stress as a man. This is where you see that humanness of Jesus, right? You see the two natures of Jesus, right? He tells people, come to me, you'll never grow thirsty or hungry. But he got thirsty and ate. He fasted, right? So Jesus as man fasted, got hungry, grew weak. Jesus is God, none of those things. So you see that struggle because he came for that purpose. Where all of us would be broken. We would still be in our sin. We'd still be in our sin. So yeah, great, because he didn't want to. That just is you said you read it. It was in the Washington Post.
No, on Facebook.
Oh, on Facebook. But that's just, again, to me, that's a sign of inoculation, Christian inoculation. We don't even understand why he did these things. Again, because we have 80 million Bibles with 80 million bedazzled blings on it, and we don't read them. I was guilty of it forever. So please, I'm standing on my own. But when you start reading and get God's word into you, it'll change your life, folks. I'm telling you. If you get God's word into you, say, I'm going to apply it. And you say, I'm going to apply it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Now you're learning to submit to authority. All these things will make you a better employee. You watch all these things. You start learning. So I'm going to do it because God said so. He's the only parent that makes sense because I said so. Right? Yeah. But he does it because he loves us. He made us to operate a certain way. He gave us guardrails so that we can enjoy the view without going off the cliff. That was his purpose. One of the 10 myths, and I busted in my book, is that Jesus is a prude and a cosmic killjoy. Not at all. You're operating, you made to function a certain way. If you want true joy, you function according to the way God designed you. This is if you're designed. If you want from infantile to reptile to gentile, well, then you're not designed, so you do whatever you want. You know? There's a theory of evolution, right? Infantile, reptile, gentile. Right? But if you were designed for a purpose, totally different way to see that. Everything goes back, all questions go back to origins, meaning, destiny, and morals. All four. Every question you have in your head goes back to those roots. This is why I love philosophy. You say theology was philosophy's handmaid. The two went hand in hand. Because it's critical thinking. It's critical because if God's anything, he's a divine mind. Isaiah 1:14, come let us reason together, says the Lord. He created us to reason. So, very cool. Awesome. Good stuff, guys. So let's go to the works of his miracles, as we just talked about. So John 14:11. So he revealed his power and nature. Again, he is in the effect proving that he's the cause. That's pretty awesome. So let's see. Luke 8:22. So he shows, of course, he says one day that Jesus said to his disciples, let's go over to the other side of the lake. So they got in a boat and set out. As they sailed, and he fell asleep. A big squall came down the lake, so the boat was almost swamped, and they were in great danger. The disciples went and woke him and said, Master, we're going down. He got up and rebuked the wind and the raging waters. The storm subsided, and all was calm. Where's your faith, he asked. In fear and amazement, again, a hidden hint right here. Tell me you wouldn't be scared. You've seen him, sure, he did miracles, but the very creation just obeyed him. And now you're in a boat with this guy who just did that. You know, I'm going to feel pretty dirty in my sins at that moment. Go, what is he going to do to me? You know. So you just see these actual human emotions that we all see. It's cool. Like when you get into resurrection, there's so many cool things. We get to that next week. That you just hidden things, that you'll see there are pretty cool. Proves the realness power over demons. I love that all this is all popular again. You just wonder why. Because there's something to it. Power of demons, right? Jesus was driving out a demon who was mute. The demon left, and then began to speak. So you see the proved power of demons. You ever see the one place where you have a devil ham, right? Where the pigs go over the edge. So there's a devil ham. Where you cast the demons, God bless you, into the pigs and sent them over the edge there. So they did that swine dive into the ocean. So he constantly demonstrated that. He healed real sickness and healed real demonic possession. He knew how to discern between what was both. He didn't call everything a demon. Yeah, he knew how to discern between both. Yes, sir.
But even the demons, the ones that he drove into the pigs, even there, they testified that he was the Son of God.
Absolutely. It was so interesting. He said, quiet. I mean, they knew exactly who he was. And he didn't want their testimony, right? Because they're liars. That's why he always told them to shut up. You always shut up the demon. Because you don't want the testimony of a liar. So think in your life, you want someone who's a known liar saying, hey man, girl's honest. I'm a known liar. You aren't believing me. Like, she may be honest, but you ain't believing me. But if you're someone who has character and integrity, say, hey, you can hire this person, she's honest. You're like, okay. Now your credibility went up. So he knew what he was doing. He wasn't letting people off with him. Very clever little things. Yes, I think that's what I mean.
The same thing is when the guys were trying to cast out demons and they said, Jesus I know and Paul I know. But who are you?
Yeah. So here's this guy trying to cast out demons in the name of Christ who doesn't have the Spirit of God. Says, well, I know those two. Who are you? Don't be messed with that. I told my son, I theme out my years. Because one of the things that God did for me, it's really interesting, is gave me this love of learning that I kind of punted when my parents got divorced and stuff. I was kind of a smart kid, so I chose to be clever, not wise. I just kind of skated through school. I never did homework. I just kind of skated through, bare minimum. And I regret that so much now, But when I came to Christ, God renewed my love of learning like he never has before. and I just love, sucking up information. And he's done that in an amazing way. So I have to theme out my years because I'm not reading too many different things. So I started theming out my years. I'll study philosophy, and next year I'll study epistemology, which is how do you know things. I'll study all these topics, right? I'll study an in-depth study on Christ and the resurrection and stuff like that. So I was doing that. Well, one time I did a whole thing on demonology. And so I studied the cults and demonology. So that was my whole focus, right? So I got all my materials, who's recognized authorities, not the phony balonies. And I try to read the books that other authors write. They read those books. Those are the ones I try to get. Now they're expensive ones, unfortunately, but those are the ones I try to read. And I did a study. It was really weird. I was telling my son this. We just had a conversation. I'll still plant this seed, you guys. Lots of things are just phony baloney, man. Just phony baloney stuff, right? But one thing that's no joke, and I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. I don't know why that Ouija board is a gateway of some sort, but it is. Of all things that I thought would have been phony baloney is that. Etymology, the study of words, no one really knows where it came from. It's got like all kinds of weird little things to it. These words, I don't know why that is the case, but it is. And I'll have to tell you about my study one day. If you're interested in hearing about it, I'll tell you about my study and what happens. God, when he's showing you something, he'll do it in threes. Threes, it's really weird because 2 is a coincidence. 3, you go, he did it in 4s on this one. So don't let anyone mess with the Ouija board. That's no joke. So just throw that out there. That's free. Cost you nothing, but don't be messing with that stuff. I don't know why. That's a gateway. It's really weird. Proved to be God by revealing his power over death. Now, this is a big one, right? It rose from the dead. So that's a big one there. And he rose someone from the dead, right? Pretty cool. Hey, what time do you guys usually go to? Okay, 12-ish? Okay, I hear an ish. So we'll do the next one, okay? The Magi. This is pretty cool. So if you look at evidence of worship given to Jesus, now you could go with the Magi. They worshipped him. You see Matthew, those who were in the boat worshipped him. You see the man born blind worshipped him. You don't see a following verse that says Jesus said, no, don't do that. I'm just an angel. I'm just like you. He received it every time. After his resurrection, he received the worship. So he took it. He didn't say, hey, what are you doing? And you see the angels do this all throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament. When they're feared, they worship.